Yes, good afternoon, Andy. Yeah, we did arrive at 10 minutes to 2 exactly, which I thought was a bit of... By the time I deleted earlier footage to get the camera open and film. Well, 10 to 2 was spot on. I was heading west and I decided after I left the Crieff boundary, I thought, I can't be bothered with the Sunday afternoon bikers and all the noise and traffic on the westbound A85 and coming back later with joining queues of traffic. I thought, to heck with that. So I come up here to the Barvick and someone's got a position over there, but I'm going to park here and I'm going to wander down. I've got my jet boil, a coffee bag, a biscuit, and I'm going to sit on the old bench in the shade and enjoy the well, it's actually quite nice to be in the sunshine, Andrew, rather than the shade, but it can get a bit prickly hot sitting under the hot August sunshine. I don't know how long the weather will last, but I've got a feeling it's starting to break down a little. And I dare say that there's a possibility that we may get copious amounts of rain soon. I would have been quite happier to spend some time at my home address in the garden today, just doing odd jobs and stuff, and making amends in my flower beds, but the damn noise in the neighbourhood is so excruciating that I can't actually be there, both by 85 traffic and also very noisy, inconsiderate neighbours with all sorts of, banging and bloody... Well, I can't go on about it, but it's just the noise is unbearable. I might actually consider making this my last winter in that neck of the woods. I'm feeling that as I progress in years, I don't want to be compounded by a succession of noisy strimmers and lawnmowers every day of the spring and summer and autumn. And I don't want these hammering enthusiasts. I don't know what they get to bang all the time, but they're always banging something. There's always somebody fucking bang, 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 bang. And I think they just do it to alleviate their stress levels or their boredom. I'm not sure, but it is a damn annoying way of doing. Yeah. Not sure who that passing motor, but certainly had a look at the camera, so I'll be able to see how interested they were in the fact that I'm holding this camera in my hands. It's a nice breeze, Andy. It's a perfect day to have a coffee. Do we need to go down the riverside, or we just want to... Oh, Barvick burn. Trickling waters is very good for the soul. Just a quiet trickling waters. I'm still a bit close to the traffic, Andy, but I'm not dressed for marching through heavy scrub. I think we'll have a coffee, and then we'll open the camera again once we've had our brain electrified with caffeine. It's a double strength caffeine I've got today, so I don't want to take it too late in the afternoon, but certainly 2 o'clock's just perfect to keep me awake till midnight. I'm actually thinking as well, before I go and make my coffee, that I'm rather hoping to try and do a little experiments and not load any footage for the rest of August, perhaps. The purpose being, I'm looking to try and switch off my computer completely for a duration of 28 days, and also to not use my mobile phone if it's possible. That's not quite so easy to do that. I want to try and avoid all technology for a little while. I want to try and get my mind back into a place, the pre-technology days, where the mind is sort of drifted in its own mannerisms without all the interference and deflection from constantly having to check things or answer things or reply to texts that you never asked for in the first place, or phone calls. The bombardment of emails from companies. Even though you unscribe from them, they still manage to sneak through. And YouTube, I'm finding, like myself, who complains a lot in my channel, although I do have a little bit of laughter and tittering, more than most YouTube loaders, I think, but everyone's so damn miserable. They all seem to be very negative. Every single subject it's on is always bloody doom and gloom. And I'm fed up with it. You listen to about two minutes of it and say, oh, I'm not listening to that stuff. I'm trying to enjoy my life, not fucking make it miserable. So I think to myself, let's hop back in our mind, Andy, to say the early 1970s at this location. Not much has changed really. A little bit of the signage. The hedge is still there. The big ash tree is still there. It's been there for ages, years and years, centuries probably. And of course the Barvick bun running down to join up with the turret bun, which is flowing down. There's more Germans, I think. No, it's not. Why did your mind think that was a German? I'll tell you what it was, Andy. It was just so many German registration plates of late. I just saw the white background and the black lettering. I just quickly assumed it was a German number plate. You see the grazing sheep away over there. They've got the right idea, you see. They're not going to get hot and bothered under the afternoon sunshine. They're chosen the right spot, just enough sunshine to keep them warm, but also a little bit shade just to nearby. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do that now, Andrew. We're going to have our coffee, thank you. So I've come across from the opposite bank there. Plenty of stepping stones at this time of year. And jet ball's been set up and my coffee's ready. I spent a lot of time at this spot. This wasn't here, this tree. This is a late addition. This tree rolled down from the tops, come down, carried down with the water and dumped here at some point. But it makes a fine seat for Andy today. I have my little cane rod with a little fishing net. I've spent hours catching little minnows and stuff in the water, and just building little structures on the rock faces with twigs and stones and grasses and stuff, making little forts. I was only about 6-year-old or 7-year-old at the time. We're coming out here from much earlier than that. I didn't smoke at that age, but I'm smoking today because it's a wonderful spot to relax and have a coffee and a cigaretto. And the purpose is coming over here is get further away from the traffic, and also, Eddie, the noise of the water is not the noise, the gentle waters passing over rock is extremely, speak properly, extremely therapeutic. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Andy. Oh yes, 3rd of August. Mercury retrograde finally moves out of the shadows, is it? Yes. Well, thank goodness for that. Then we might be able to hear what you're saying instead of bloody mumbles all the time. Yes, I really did. I loved it coming out here. It was a real adventure. And I mean, away for hours and hours and hours every summer's day. If I was at my grand's, she would stick a sandwich. It's always ham. Sometimes she put tomato in it, but the tomato got all soggy. But often it was ham and that mustard stuff that I liked, and an apple. Sometimes she'd make up a banana roll, which was alright as well. And likewise, if Mum and Dad just, where are you off to, Andrew? I'm going to the Barvick. I'm going to the Barvick to do some fishing with my net. What time are you coming back? I don't know. I'll be back here no later than 6 o'clock, will you? Alright, I'll be back then. And the strange thing is, Andrew, the watch that you wear on your wrist today is very much like the one you used to have as a youngster, although the dial is much larger than this one that was your original 1972 watch that you used to wear. Can't remember, was that a birthday present or a Christmas present, Andrew? I think it was a birthday present actually. Yeah. Coffee always tastes better outside, doesn't it? It's the same as anything. If you eat a chocolate biscuit sitting watching television, it just goes down your gob and sits in your belly for hours and hours. But if you're out in the countryside and you stop off and have a chocolate biscuit, it really is, it's a wonderful taste from the chocolate. Fake chocolate, of course. Palm syrup chocolate. And as I say, the cups of tea and that, when you're outdoors, that's why I love taking that thing with me, because it's just so amazing. Just stop somewhere and have a drink of tea, like an old tramp. And it saves building a little fire, you see. One thing I've never done is flown a kite. I tried to, but I've never managed to fly a kite. It didn't sit with me, I just didn't like it. Flew up in the air, the wind wouldn't catch it, and I think my tolerance level on that muscle was about 3 minutes solid, and I said, oh, I don't want to do this. Nope. Don't see many people with kites, do you? Not really. Yeah, look at the tree, just listen to me. It's listen to every single word you're saying, Andy. Yep. Nosy Falcon. She's not Andrew. I've known you for years. A familiar voice in this part. Yes. Yes, Andrew. Let's get fishing. Let's get fishing. Bring a rod out. No, it's all jumpy camera there. Mr. Kidd of Dunnottar. It's all getting very warm. It's this old Victorian, early Victorian bench has been here for an eternity. Unfortunately, the Vandals a number of years ago ripped up the iron for no reason, just because they wanted to destroy something that wasn't theirs. So in my entire lifetime, this bench was intact up until about 30 years ago, or less, maybe 25 years ago. It started to get wrecked and ruined. Some people still come and build the fires. You see the sticks are already laid out. But, it's magnificent here, it really is. It's a wonderful spot. I've always enjoyed coming here. The canopy of the trees make it a superb location on a very, very hot day. With the trickling waters of the Barvick, it's all very soothing. I'm sure you must agree it is a wonderful location to be. You know, spend your childhood, as I recounted there, and up into the Barvick, all the way up to the Barvick Falls, which is not there but it's further up the ravine. But, so yes, I spent many happy days in that corner, and it's just nice to go back for a bit of reminiscing and a bit of nostalgia. One thing we didn't have beforehand is these bloody bins. The householders, I think they've been instructed to put the bins here. They're a little bit better ordered than what they've been. Whether somebody's complained, I don't know. But they were all stacked into the middle here. It was a terrible sight, but they've got them all lined up and pushed back a bit. These houses here, private road, which means I'll walk along there now. I love signs that say private, so we'll have a wander. I'll dump the Andy the jet boil and stuff. But this is a sight in here to behold when all the beech turn. The sycamore here and the beech and the chestnut tree. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing with the autumn colours in here. And we've got that's the horse chestnut. We've got the no, sorry, the what did I just say there? We've got this. That's beech, Andy. The horse chestnut, the big horse chestnut's down there, produces a lot of conkers. Just down there, it's a great sight there. What I'm looking at is the beech nuts. They've all developed. You see them all? The squirrels. That's why they choose this location, because there's an ample supply of food. They're quite large, the chestnuts for this time. Early August, Andy. You've still got a few weeks before September, really. And the squirrels will strip those. And this whole area will be a mass of shells. Welcome to the private road, Annie. At Green End Cottage, it was the lodge. At Green End along here, which used to be a sawmill. Back in, was it the year 2000, Annie? 2001 perhaps? I was working with a local forester type person, but he also did decking. So this woman from Hong Kong, she had family in the area. I'm talking well-to-do. The money was absolutely no object to them. I know the name, but I'm not prepared to give it. Her father was a captain, but anyway, that's all I'm going to tell you. And he was a bit of a lifesaver to the whole episode, because what she wanted was freshly cut larch with a ragged edge, and she wanted the decking made of this larch with a ragged edge. And she was told 1,000 times by my boss, look, we can do that, but it's not going to be practical. Anybody walking on that with you know, high heel shoes, for example, or even with a walking stick, is going to come a cropper. It needs to be flush, or just a very narrow gap to let the rain through. But no. So we laid it, and then she didn't like it. She said, oh, can you do it all again? He said, well, we haven't costed to do it all again. Well, that's all right. So we broke it all up and relaid the whole thing again differently. Much closer to the specifications that we originally told her. Then she said, no, I'm not entirely happy with that. Let's go back to what we had. And again, she parted all this money to do this 3 times. And then the 4th time, she was still not pleased. Her captain father was visiting, and he said, listen, darling, don't be such a silly thing. You're not going to be able to have guests walking out onto here. If they put the stiletto heel into that, they're going to break the leg. So eventually she saw common sense, but it was just too much money. I mean, far too much money. And they don't blink when they spend it. They don't. It doesn't create any problems on their account, the bank account, because it's quickly replaced by interest on shares or whatever else, you know, anything that they've got money invested in. So we're on the private road, Annie. and probably get a dog barking at some point. But here's this bloody ranch fencing that I absolutely hate. It really spoils you know, the natural beauty of any location with this bloody stuff. It doesn't fit in well. That does. Look at the old dike, you see. Nothing wrong with an old stone dike any. And of course people nowadays can't build dikes. They think they can, but they can't, because they need cement, mortar to fill in the gaps. You don't see any newly built, very rarely at least, unless it's a highly skilled diker who's trained for it, possibly even done a lifetime of working dikes. It's a real skill. Trouble is, there's no money in it because it costs so much per metre to price. Not only for the stone, but the man's time, the people's time it build them. Whereas these dikes were all built by estates in the past. This is Turret Bridge. This is the old Turret Bridge, Andy. And down below us is the River Turret, heading towards Glen Turret itself. Well, Glen Turret Distillery at least, but we're in Glen Turret, Andy. Yes, I'm sorry, a slip of the tongue, isn't it? Very gentle. Oh, and your pronunciations are hopeless when you're in Mercury retrograde. Yes, I'm saying that the waters are very calm, unlike a stormy winter's day, or after the snows have melted on the high ground, the Grampians, and fast flowing down through the gorges. But it's a really lovely day, and it's a pleasure to be out and about. I have to say, I'm surprised I didn't get any visits from dogs. There's only a dog sort of attacks me around about here. But not today. I brought my small staff just because I'm feeling definitely like a tramp, Andrew. I'm sorry to keep going on about my tramp life, but this is what I like to do. I'm going over the gate, and we're just wandering. Yes. So here's this ragwort talked about from Glencoick, and this is the stuff that farmers and horse people would take a lot of effort to get rid of that, you see. And there's loads of it. They just don't have the time, do they? It's too busy sitting in the tractor. We'll switch off a little while, Andrew. We'll get over the brow of the hill. Have you brought your tobacco? Oh, of course. So over there is the Barvick, and you can see the route of the Barvick as it comes down. It goes all the way up the Stonefield and all the way up to the Blue Crags into Corrie Barvick, where the waters off the mountains create that burn. Each stream, whether it's the Turret, the Barvick, the Kelty or the Shaggy, all along there, have all got their own sources. A lot of people don't know, but to the right hand side there, up where I'm pointing my stick, that whole area was common land, meaning it belonged to the people, the public. The travellers used to go up there. There's evidence still up there of where the travellers used to camp out, and probably pre-war. But it's probably as late as the 1950s and 60s. But that's where they camped out up there, as one of the locations in this area. So they were out of the town boundary. No one really touched them up there. But what I'm saying is you could go up there and help yourself to firewood. You could walk freely up in that place. But the chap who had Mains of Callander, now my understanding is Mains of Callander estate was sold by Manis Castle to individuals, I'm sure it was back in the 1920s. But thereafter there was another owner in the last 40 years. I don't know if he's still living actually. I understand that Manis Castle have bought, or Manis Estates have bought the Mains of Callander back again. I'll have to inquire to that to be absolutely sure, so don't take my word for that just now. Something makes me think that's the case. But the chap along there who had an obsession with fences, erected fences everywhere, and he put into that wood as a way of discouraging people to walk through it. Lots of the French cattle, what do you call them? Not the Charlies. What the hell do you call them? Russet brown coloured cattle that, well, they don't like humans, and they will charge you. I've had experience of it several times over there. They're quite vicious cattle, if you can get such a thing. But anyway, so that's all common land. And there was lots and lots of tracks. The track would head all the way out to past Mains of Callander itself and right over to the Brea Manis. I still walk there. I've spent a lot of time walking all that area, but I've not been up there for quite some time. There's the shepherd's cottages up there. It's a beautiful day for August, isn't it? Yeah, it's been quite chilly for recent days, and it is glorious, Andy. There's a cattle. Unfortunately, if you want to find out who owns land now, you've got to pay a price every time, and the only place you can get the information is in the National Archives in Edinburgh. You can't go to the council. They say we don't have that information, and you've got to take the what do you call it, the eastings and northings off the map, so they can pinpoint it, or additional charge for it. It's not cheap. The land registry. Yes. There was a book I read. It was called Who Owns Scotland, but unfortunately it didn't cover most of Southern. There's a little bit here and there of the Murrays and stuff, but that was all. And Drummond Estates, of course. Alright, let's get ourselves a cigarette and we'll relax and ponder to our next move, Andrew. Well, I've had about a good 20-minute blather with an old couple I met. I was quite surprised to see them. They're struggling to open this gate. I said, "Can I give you a hand there?" And they said, "No, we're going to untie we can't climb it, we're going to have to untie it." I said, "Well, fair enough, I'll let you do that." So we're blathering away. And I was just talking about the ragwort earlier on this load about how they would get rid of it. Lo and behold, this chap says to me, he says, "It's amazing how much ragwort's in this area." I says, "Well, proper livestock managers would employ people to get rid of it." He says, I done that job. He says, as a student, he sort of gave me the location down in England, I think it was, but he says, that was my job, pulling out ragwort. And I just thought, well, it's not a sort of, I said to him actually, I says, it's not the sort of job that your boss can turn around and say, "Oh, that's fine, you're finished," because it's bright yellow and you're there. "Oh, you've missed a bit over there, go and get that bit please, before I pay you." In fact, go and get all that over there. I'll have to delete some footage, unfortunately, this camera's loaded again. Mind you, have been talking a lot today, haven't you, Andrew? Yes. So we're not terribly far from Ochtertyre House now. The driveway is just over there, which leads up, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's electronic sensors in this area. After all, it's a very wealthy individual who stays there. I'm going to sit in this little dyke here, despite the flies. I'm going to roll a cigarette out here, Andy. We're going to enjoy that and just look out east and think about things here. Yes, it's definitely a wonderful day for a wander. Not a day for driving at all. Yeah, so I say probably annually on this channel that the August sky is completely different from the rest of the year. And as August progresses, it'll become more evident. It's got a different blue. This is an observation of mine from decades and decades of looking at the sky. And you don't get that blue any other time of the year. And it's just wonderful. I love the sky. It's an amazing place to look at. And it's all free. Do you know that? You can look up to the sky at any time and it's all free to look at. And it never ever looks exactly the same 2 days in a row. Never. These clouds indicate a change in the weather, Andy, coming from the Atlantic. I understand that when you're out in the places like Tyree and stuff, that you've got huge skies, that the sky is much more prominent in the islands because it goes a longer way down to the horizon of the sea. And particularly if you're looking out west, and you can see all the incoming weather from the Atlantic well in advance of anybody in the mainland. And for that reason, I think I might book up and go to Tyree. I've been thinking about going to the islands, and I think I need to go to Tyree. I've not been to Tyree, so I think I'll make special dispensation to travel there, even if it costs me a few shillings. I'm going to do it. But it's a very calm, quiet spot here. I met that couple along at that gate juncture there. They live over on the other side of the Harsh, and I was quite surprised to see anybody up here. I think they were equally surprised to see Sunday, but once we got chatting, they found me most cordial and most knowledgeable about the area. And well, it's all true, isn't it? Just a simple track like that is sufficient to walk on, eh? I mean, the peace here is, you wouldn't believe how quiet it is. It's just wonderful. Right, so that's another thing that's just come to my mind. I was just sitting thinking about things in 1977, paper round time, and I used to make my grandmother chuckle. When I used to come in, I was grabbing some breakfast, and she'd say, we're talking away about things and that, and I'll say to her, quite enthusiastically, I say, "Oh, Granny, the price of ICI shares have jumped by 8p today." And she burst out laughing, and I mentioned British Petroleum was up by 18p or something, you know. And I used to do that. I used to sit and look at the petrochemical share prices. And I wish to heck that I'd taken my paper round money and bought some shares. Well, if you bought one share, Andy, you have gained 18p 1 week, and then bloody lost 36p a week after or something. No. But you know what I mean, if I'd bought 1,000 shares, well, apparently if you'd invested £1,000 in Warren Buffett's portfolio when he had early started out, Warren Buffett, the multi-billionaire, you would have been a millionaire several times over, even with £1,000 investment, say in 1980. But you just don't know, because you might invest £1,000 in an individual's company and they could go bust the bloody week after. You lose your £1,000. Isn't it all such a mixed match? I also find that everything you do in life has got a problem attached. There's too many choices, in my opinion. I thought about this deeply as well. You know, when you go into a restaurant and you sit down, there's too many choices on the starters, there's too many choices in the main course, and there's too many choices in the sweet. You know, I'd like to have that, but I'm not sure. Well, and then as soon as you order it, you think, I wish maybe I should have taken the other thing. You know, stroganoff instead of bloody, the steak tartare or something, you know. Cancel sticky toffee pudding, please. I don't want that. Shite. I'll have 3 scoops of raspberry ice cream, please. £8.50. You went to the shop, you could buy it for bloody £3.50 or £4. Well, if you went to the Bridge of Allen, it cost you £30. A real ice cream. You know what I mean? If you go and buy a car, it's like there's so many different types of cars. Even one bloody model's got so many different names to it. So many different varieties of the same bloody motor. Different letters at the back. You don't understand any of it. You know, I would get lost in a car showroom, I would. I get fed up, I just forget it. I think in some respect, there's one thing about the Russians. I can't remember all the names of the makes of the vehicles there, but certainly Lada. People who bought the Lada are still bloody running even 50 years later. And they don't have proper roads. They're driving on bloody things like this. In the winter as well, and ice and snow and slush and all the rest of it. I wish they bought a Lada years ago. Even if you go into a tailor shop or something, so I'm looking for the jackets. You've got your sizes, but you're presented with a whole bloody row of different jackets, and you can't make up your damn mind what colour you want, what style you want, what collar on it, the cuffs, or you want double-breasted jacket, or you want a single. I mean, 4 buttons or 3 buttons or 8 buttons, like a pocket inside the lining. Oh, just forget it. Just forget it.